Hello everybody, this is Tim here again, here with another video, and yes, I am recording this in my bathroom of all places. But I figured this would probably be a pretty quick review. I wasn't planning on reviewing this movie, but then I thought, nah, what the hell. For anybody who's new tuning into my videos, I go from 1 to 4 stars. I recently just finally got to see the film X, released by A24. Now, if you don't know who A24 is, they're the studio that releases the really kind of weird, quirky, artsy type flicks. Like, I think they may have done Midsommar and The Witch. Yeah, they're not for everybody. If you're not into like art house type movies, you probably won't enjoy A24. Now, this film X is much more kind of mainstream slasher movie type. It's directed by Ty West, who's done a bunch of stuff. Most of it good. I think he also did the really weak Cabin Fever 2, though. Now, this film is much more kind of mainstream than a lot of the other A24 films. It's much more kind of basic and just kind of being a horror slasher flick, which at some points does interfere with how artistically art house the film is shot at points. Like, there's points in the movie where the plot is about like a group of people who are making a porno film, but they want to make an actual real movie out of a porno, you know, where a porno tries to have a plot. And they go to this place where this old couple's at, and they rent out this place. And the old couple, you can tell, like the husband or whatever is kind of feeling weird around them. And the people are kind of douchey, like towards the dude. Like, a lot of these like porno people are not really likable at all. And they go there, they start shooting the porno. And one thing leads to another. We find out the old dude's wife, who I believe is, the character's name is Pearl, who also, I believe the same actress plays the lead like porn star chick who does a lot of drugs through the whole thing and keeps wanting to become like super famous and everything. And she's pretty much went insane with her old age because she can't get any sex, and every time she's like sees the people of her shooting the porno, she gets horny. When she gets one of the porn people alone, she tries to get some basically, and then when they revolt, she kills them. And one thing leads to another. She starts taking each one of them out. Like, there's this one chick in the movie though who's like a sound operator, boom mic operator, and she's kind of like the sweet innocent virgin girl who really in most slasher flicks would probably end up surviving. That's kind of the trick of the movie, that's trying to make you think she will, but by the end she takes off running and does something stupid where she's locked up in this room, and then the main girl gets her out. She takes off running outside when she shouldn't, and she gets shot in the head. Pretty much the Pearl character starts killing the people because she gets turned on by them, and she wants to have sex with one of them because she hasn't had sex in centuries, I guess, and they keep saying no. And so once she kills one of them, of course the husband doesn't seem as crazy as she is. He has to kind of pretty much start helping get rid of the other people because he doesn't want, you know, his wife to be found out and arrested, because once she's killed one of them, he has to take the rest of them out, otherwise she'll go to jail, obviously, or an old folks nut house home or something. But yeah, the porno people are not really likable. The innocent like, boom mic girl or whatever, she pretty much starts getting corrupted. The movie has a message about how like sex and stuff like that can corrupt people and all that kind of stuff, like with pornos and stuff. That subtext is kind of there. But at the same time, though, they do make a point that people want to watch this kind of stuff. It's like a car crash. You can't look away. So the movie has good social commentary. The acting is fine. Everybody here does a good job. The main girl who plays like the porno actress girl who keeps doing drugs and wants to have a rich and famous life, and also plays like the old lady, she does a good job. Every now and then you can tell it's kind of makeup when you watch it on like a big TV or whatever, the old age makeup. The guy who plays the old husband, he does a good job. By the end of the movie, of course, the old couple finally end up having sex, and like the old dude doesn't want to do it throughout the movie because he's afraid his heart will give up on him and he'll just die. And what's funny is at the end when they're like hauling one of the bodies away, it kind of jerks alive, and that's what does make him have a heart attack and he dies. It's pretty funny. This movie is a horror comedy. The director knows the idea is kind of ridiculous, and so he does throw in comedy. It is a horror comedy flick, horror slasher comedy, and it is kind of funny at times. By the end, though, I will say this, the movie does start to drag out a little bit too long. This is kind of a simple idea that does feel kind of stretched out just because it wants to be kind of a slightly more artistic A24 film. And I'll say this at the same time, this film didn't really need to be as with the artsy way it does in a lot of the shots and stuff. Like, there's the parts where they're filming the porno and it's like paralleling like the main female porn stars like life or whatever, where she's talking to the old lady and they're like sharing a drink, and like kind of the similar thing is happening in the porno. You don't really need that kind of artsy shots in this movie, and it just kind of feels like it's there to elongate the film. So this movie makes the movie slightly too long. Now, like, this film could have worked as just a basic horror slasher comedy. By the end, when the old people are like having sex or whatever, at first it's kind of weird and creepy because the main girl's like caught under the bed trying to escape when she sneaks out of the room. But then it starts to go on a little bit too long and gets kind of comical. I start laughing like unintentionally because I don't think that was meant to be funny. It was meant to be weird and creepy. But Yeah, the movie does have some really funny humor to it though, and some other humor that does kind of feel kind of weird. Like the main dude who's like running the porno thing or whatever. He's like, "That was a really good shoot," and he's like talking to one of the guy who's like shooting the film and everything, and he's like, "Feel how hard my cock is," and it's like really out of the blue joke. It might be funny to some people though, just because it's so out of the blue. By the end though, when it comes to the kills, it's got really good gore. One of the kills though feels like it comes out of nowhere. Like the main dude who I was just talking about, who runs the porno thing, he's like looking through a hole all at once, and all at once he's just stuck in the eye. And editing's kind of weird, and it happens pretty fast. Kind of comes out of nowhere. By the end though, the old lady like tries to get the shotgun to shoot the main girl, and it like kicks her backwards out the door. It's pretty funny. And then the chick walks out there, and the old lady keeps calling her a whore, and how she's just like her, and she didn't get the life she wanted either, and how she'll end up just like her, and she runs her over with a vehicle. And all through the movie, you hear this preacher guy talking or whatever about how sex is a sin and all that. And that by the end of it, you find out on the TV that his daughter is actually the main chick, the porno queen girl or whatever, who does the drugs for the whole movie. I kind of like that twist. Some of the weaknesses here is that we're supposed to believe that the two characters, the old lady and the porn chick, kind of parallel each other, that they're both not going to like get the life they wanted, and they both kind of become corrupted by their lives. But really, you don't know enough about like the old lady's like backstory and all that, which they're doing a prequel to this film and a sequel. I'm not really sure if you need those. This is kind of a one-off idea, but I hear that Ty West is going to make both the other two films totally different than this, which I suppose could be interesting. At the same time, you shouldn't need a whole prequel movie to get the information you need in this flick, so I have to judge this film for itself. But all in all, besides that problem, I'd give this a 4 out of 4. Some of the nudity in the film, like the porn stuff, does go on a bit too long, and it kind of feels like it's in there once again just to elongate the film. Some of the nudity and stuff could have been cut out. I don't have a problem with seeing boobs and stuff. It's great. I love Friday the 13th movies, but the difference between this and Friday the 13th movies is Friday the 13th movies are trying to be just popcorn, silly fun. This movie, while being a horror comedy, it plays itself mostly serious at times, and so a lot of the nudity and stuff just kind of elongates the movie. Well, not so much the nudity, but the porn scenes. They just kind of elongate the movie. But yeah, all in all, I'd give it a 4 out of 4. It's a great fun time. If you are a slasher fan, if this is still playing in theaters and you haven't seen it, I'd recommend going to see it. If you're a horror slasher fan, it's worth the full price. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again.